All right, so today's topic is dealing with a 24-hour bug. And this is top of mind because I'm literally less than 24 hours after or away from the 24-hour bug. And so I thought it'd be a relevant topic because, um, these we're in late January. The bugs are quote unquote going around, as people like to say. And so this might be something relevant for you here in the short term. And even if it's not, it might be relevant at some other point in your life. So I think it's worth talking about. And so today, I'm defining the 24-hour bug as a GI infection. And that's how I experienced it. And so if we approach it that way, what we'll say is my symptoms were I woke yesterday morning and I had diarrhea. And it was by the end of the day, I had three times in the morning, but by the end of the day, it was probably seven times total. And that was the main symptom. But coming along with that, there was some stomach pain and fatigue, which will, you know, be part of the diarrhea and potential dehydration that comes with it. So I woke up and I was experiencing that. And so I thought to myself, well, you know, I think it's a stomach bug. I think it's probably a 24-hour bug. My couple of my kids and my wife had something similar a week before, except they were vomiting a lot, and I didn't want to vomit if I could help it. So what I chose to do from a treatment standpoint uh, is here. And so from a treatment standpoint, the first thing I did is I woke up with the diarrhea and the symptoms. So I said, hey, it's already been, I ate uh, dinner, dinner at 7 p.m. ish the night before. So I woke up and I was already about 12 hours into a fast. So I said, I'm just going to fast today because fasting can help clear any infection faster. How? Well, fasting promotes what's called autophagy. And we've spoken about this in previous videos. But what autophagy is it's basically a house cleaning mechanism that when we're fasted allows us to uh, more efficiently clear damaged cells or sick cells. And so if you're sick, oftentimes if we think about it, when we're sick, we experience this thing called what's termed in the medical literature sickness behavior. And sickness behavior is made up of things like fatigue and malaise, which is fancy for like just feeling blah. It can oftentimes have lack or loss of appetite, and you want to just lay around and take a nap, right? You might be achy as well. So the behavior, the sickness behavior, is something that basically makes the organism essentially go into hibernation. Because animals show this too when they're sick. And so what it is essentially the body slowing us down so we can not overdo it and we can heal. And part of losing your appetite, the benefit of that is you're driving autophagy. If you're fasting, you're driving autophagy and you're increasing the quote unquote house cleaning, where you're getting rid of infected cells and damaged cells more efficiently, which can help you pass through the sickness faster. And so that was my thinking as I fasted um, for ended up being about 37 hours. So I ate breakfast this morning around 8. So broke the fast at that time because I was feeling better and didn't feel like I was going to be nauseous or throw up at all. And I didn't. So I'm happy to report that. But what I combined with the fast was also a few other things. So that was I fasted and I embraced uh, the sickness behavior. So I didn't overdo it yesterday. I didn't go to the gym like I usually do on Sundays. I basically went to my kids' swim meet. Um, and sat through that, and then came home and laid on the couch and watched football playoff games. So those were the kind of lifestyle things I did. And then from a supplement standpoint, I did the following. We go supplementation. So one thing I did was activated charcoal. And the reason for that is charcoal is an inert substance, which basically acts like a mop or an adsorption agent. Basically, it goes through your GI tract and it um, mops out or sweeps out any of the trash in your gut. Okay, so you could think of it as um, inflammation and other metabolites that are being created by any whatever the bug mechanism is of the 24-hour bug or the gut infection. So the activated charcoal goes through, grabs that stuff, and carries it out in your stool. Charcoal is not absorbed, it's inert. And so it will turn your stool or your diarrhea black because, again, you're not absorbing it, but it's grabbing the trash and taking it out for you. So there's one way to help yourself is, um, you know, get rid of junk faster through just a grab and go mechanism. And then I also took a combination of a couple things. I took oregano, I took garlic, and I took NAC because those are good antibacterial, antifungal, and antiviral substances. And so, the 24-hour bug, I wasn't exactly sure of which microbe or microbes were involved, but if I hit them with a couple broad spectrum things like that, that gives me a better chance to knock them out. And then I also took a product that was a antiviral combo because oftentimes a 24-hour bug is an enterovirus. It could be norovirus or a different kind of enterovirus. That's a enterovirus is fancy for a gut virus. And so I took the antiviral combo in case it was a norovirus or some other enterovirus. Oop, enterovirus. And so I did that, took it easy, fasted, went to bed early, and woke up this morning and felt better. So good enough to eat breakfast. And then after eating breakfast, I felt even better because now my body had energy and fuel that it hadn't had in 37 hours. And so sitting here, almost 6 p.m. in the day, I'm feeling good and like I want to eat dinner and get back at it. So if you are concerned about the 24-hour bug or just want to be ready if it hits you, then these are strategies you can implement. One other thing I did, which hopefully would be considered in the lifestyle section here, would be hydration was a key focus. So I was hydrating like crazy. And then later today, part of that was I added electrolytes. Once I was feeling better and like smells and flavors didn't make me nauseous, I added electrolytes because the diarrhea obviously can dehydrate us from a just water fluid standpoint, but also from a mineral standpoint. So the electrolytes can be key there. So I hope this was helpful. This can be added to the infection strategies specifically to GI tract. We've made videos in the past for upper respiratory infections that we focus on the nebulizer and strategies using that to help clear those for, say, upper respiratory like sinuses or lungs. And we can add this to our repertoire and our content database for things to help us recover more quickly. So I also did a bunch of laser, yes. So if I
Okay.
throw that in here,
Huh.
laser, and it was a combination of red light and near infrared. So I did about 40 minutes.
Okay.
I
Is
did
this
I did 20 minutes one time, and then later in the day I did 40 more minutes. And I
Okay.
was focused, my lasers have settings for like microbiome and for infection. So I had those settings on and I was hitting the GI tract with those. And so
Okay.
if you're for the GI, the infrared is better because it goes deeper. So
Okay.
if you could only pick one, I would go with the infrared for GI specific.
And would that be concentrating on your belly area?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, it depends on how big the head of the laser is, but um, you know, mine are the heads are maybe the size of a $50. So I'd put and I have two of them, so I'd put one on like if the belly button is considered the center of your stomach of your abdomen, then
Uh-huh.
um divide it in quarters. So you'd have an upper right and left quadrant
Uh-huh.
and a lower right and left quadrant above and below the belly button
Okay. Sounds
that
good.
you'd want to hit.
All right. Well, I
Or
will
if you
let
have a panel, a light panel, you just set the whole thing on your abdomen.
The oregano that you mentioned, was it oregano oil?
No, I did a capsule, but I mean, you could use oregano oil if you wanted to. You'd have to mix it with a carrier though, so it didn't burn you.
Okay, I wasn't sure how you used it.
Yeah, no, I just took a encapsulated
Okay,
supplement. Yep.
thank you.
Kathy asked in the chat, what is the antiviral combo? Um, so it's a product called Virusid, but it had a combination of the astragalus and elderberry and vitamin A and vitamin D and the antiviral stuff that I had mentioned. There we go.
I don't have a question, but I'll just say I recommend your special recipe for the nebulizer.
Oh,
Tis
yeah.
the season. So
Yes, thank you. Yeah,
yeah.
I recommend it too.
Yeah.
That's why I recommend it.
Great. It's very good.
Yes. Yes, but you're speaking from recent experience, I
Yeah,
presume.
I've not been had not been that sick in way more years, so many years, even before I met you, so many years. So it's very easy to take it personally when you think you're doing everything right and your body's just like, nah, this is
Yeah.
gonna give your immune system a workout. Maybe it's been too lazy. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, that's a good point. And I made a video on that during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Because everyone's like, oh, they're sick. I don't want to get sick. That's bad. And it's like, no, sickness is exercise for your immune system. It's actually bad if you're never sick, because you need that exercise immunologically. And so uh, there is an imbalance in the immune system where your anti-infection side is so strong that it's abnormal, so that you're more inflamed, and that can drive more like that can drive MS, that can drive the inflammatory arthritic diseases like rheumatoid arthritis and psoriatic arthritis and even osteoarthritis. So again, we want balance and proper functioning. We don't want to never be sick, just like we don't want to always be sick. But we actually do want the COVIDs and the flus and the 24-hour bugs because again, it's exercise for the immune system. And research shows that, the people who have appropriate sickness have better defense and lower risk of things like cancer and the really scary things that nobody wants. So we want that immune exercise. And yeah, although it's uncomfortable for 24 hours or 4 days, or a week sometimes, it's it's better in the long run to have gone through that.